She's so fine. Hell of a hell of a blows my mind. Hell of a lights my day.
What's good, guys? Today is Friday, June the 30th, 2023. I want to wish my cousin a very happy birthday today. Now, this story is again coming out of the great state of Kentucky. However, while I am in the western part of the state, my family originates from the eastern part of the state, which is where this story is coming out of. And it has set a small community in eastern Kentucky on the edge of their seats. This is coming out of Floyd County, Kentucky, and my family originates from Harlan County, Kentucky. Now, family, attorneys, and community members from the small community of Prestonsburg, Kentucky, gathered on the courthouse steps yesterday to expose what they know about a brutal killing, now going 10 days unsolved. According to the Kentucky State Police, 38-year-old Amber Spradlin was found dead in a home on Arkansas Creek on June the 18th. The incident that led to her death is believed to have happened overnight on June the 17th. Now, on the night Amber Spradlin died, she was with friends, she was with her boss, which were people she trusted. That's why they say her brutal murder was so shocking. Now, her cousin, Debbie Hall, is going to speak on this video that I'm going to show shortly. She was stabbed not once, not twice, not even 3 times. She was stabbed 11 times in her head, her neck, and her throat. That, guys, is very personal. Kentucky State Police troopers confirm she had life-threatening injuries and suspect foul play. Now, her death is being treated as a homicide investigation. Aside from those details, detectives have stayed very tight-lipped about this case. Because when you've got a small community like that, anything you say can get twisted and flipped, and so that's why they keep these cases so quiet. Now, the family's attorney, Mark Wohlander, believes the state police have a suspect, though no suspect has been named publicly. He described the crime scene as incredibly gruesome and said he believes they are waiting on DNA evidence, which has been difficult to analyze. And here's why. It was brutal. There was blood everywhere. There was blood everywhere. Blood mixed with other blood, her attorney said. Now, her family described Amber Spradlin's upbringing as tragic because she lost her mom and her sister when she was young, and she was raised by her grandparents, which is similar to how I was raised. She, in turn, cared for her grandparents until the end, and only just recently moved out to start a life on her own. Friends, family, and community, that meant everything to Amber, her cousin Debbie Hall said. Now, here's the other part of this tragic situation. Her cousin says she doesn't know why anyone would want to hurt Amber Spradlin. The family is also struggling on top of her death. They are struggling to figure out why it took first responders so long to find her. Her cousin Debbie Hall says, I just don't know what in the world would have gone so wrong to result in what happened. There was a 911 call, and get this, guys, no one answered that 911 call. Now, talk about dropping the ball. The community has been calling the county's 911 dispatch system into question since Amber Spradlin's death. Now, according to the family attorney, Wohlander, it took first responders hours to find her, despite a 911 call after she was stabbed. Prestonsburg Mayor Lee Stapleton addressed the issue at a town meeting earlier this week in a statement, and he said, the City of Prestonsburg Police is a stellar organization supported by a stellar 911 center. They offer around-the-clock police protection 365 days a year, but their priority is and must be the City of Prestonsburg, as they are the taxpayers who fund the department's existence. With that priority, we still have done our absolute best to assist outside of town when resources allow us. I have total faith in and can unequivocally state that our employees did and continue to do, as they always have, everything as professionally and adequately as possible. Now, The mayor also said that the town has its own 911 center funded by and focused on that town. Because this call came from the county, it was supposed to be sent to the Kentucky State Police Dispatch Center, but it's unclear if that happened, according to Amber Spradlin's family. Her family attorney says, "Can you imagine being Amber Spradlin in the house that night and no one was coming?" Now, as they wait for word on the killer, Amber Spradlin's family is also hoping to get answers from the city regarding this 911 system. The attorney for the family, Wohlander, said he is asking Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear to issue an order making adjustments to the 911 call center to make sure citizens are safe. As for the investigation into Amber Spradlin's death, Kentucky State Police confirmed detectives are actively following leads. They have not made any arrests. I'm going to go ahead and play the video that goes with this story.
A small-town murder in far eastern Kentucky is getting a lot of attention from across the state. You guys have been asking me to look into the Amber Spradlin case, and today I'm ready to share what I've learned. According to state police, the 39-year-old was found dead in a home on Arkansas Creek earlier this month. That's about 4.5 hours from Louisville in Floyd County, Kentucky. Kentucky State Police troopers confirmed she had life-threatening injuries, and they do suspect foul play, meaning they're working it as a homicide investigation. Well, today, the victim's family is asking for support as they go on 10 days without an arrest in the case and without answers as to why it took so long for the 911 call to be heard. June 18th, families say Amber Spradlin was with friends and her boss, people she trusted. Only hours later, she was discovered dead, her family describing the brutal attack on the steps of the courthouse in Floyd County.
She was stabbed not once, not twice, not 3 times. She was stabbed at least 11 times in her head, her neck, and her throat.
Kentucky State Police is working the case but staying tight-lipped. The family's attorney believes they have their suspect, but because the crime scene was so gruesome, DNA evidence has been difficult to separate in the lab.
There was blood everywhere, and there was blood that was mixed with other blood and other DNA.
Families say Amber lost her parents when she was young. She was raised by her grandparents and in turn cared for them until the end, only recently moving out to start a life on her own. They don't know why anyone would want to hurt her. They also don't know why it took first responders so long to find her and help.
I just don't know what in the world would have gone so wrong to result in what happened. But there was a 911 call, and no one went.
The community has been calling the county's 911 dispatch system into question since Amber's death. The attorney says it took first responders hours to find Amber.
Oh, but she's not forgotten.
The mayor of Prestonsburg addressed the issue at a town meeting earlier this week, saying the town has its own 911 call center, funded by and focused on the town. Because this call came from the county, it was sent to the KSP dispatch center, and according to the attorney, lost between the lines.
Can you imagine being Amber Spradlin in that house that night, realizing that no one was going to be coming? She didn't know that. But nobody came.
Now, as they wait for word on the killer, family is also hoping to get answers on the 911 system.
Friends, family, community, that meant everything to Amber.
Hoping no one else has to suffer alone. The attorneys in this case are calling on Governor Andy Beshear to examine the 911 system and make adjustments to make sure citizens are safe. As for the death investigation, Kentucky State Police say detectives are actively following new leads.
Now look, I know that Eastern Kentucky is a whole different breed of folks. The good people, there's good people in Appalachia. But they deserve a decent 911 center. They deserve to be able to call the police or ambulance or fire and have someone respond, period. And in this case, it's really sad because here this woman is stabbed 11 times, guys. And it took them who knows how long to get there. I know someone has requested the documentation, and it's not been pretty what they have shown so far. So they definitely dropped the ball in this case. So the family's dealing with not only the death of Amber Spradlin, and she had a lot of family and she had a lot of friends, and they are not going to let this go. Not only that, guys, but they have someone who committed such an atrocious crime walking free around the streets. No one has been arrested for this. We know at least one person had to have done it and possibly had help. So there is a person just walking freely, and then no one's going to answer to this 911 call being dropped. It's a sad affair, guys, in Eastern Kentucky right now. And the people of Prestonsburg are not going to let this go, and I don't blame them. So I'm going to continue to follow this story, but I definitely wanted to do my best to push it out there. Being that's from Kentucky, I know not a lot of the Kentucky cases get picked up by the mainstream media, and so I wanted to do my best to push it out, being that I have ties to Eastern Kentucky. And comment below and let me know what you think about the 911 dispatch center. Like, this is crazy, crazy. Thanks for watching, guys, and everybody have a safe holiday weekend.